Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. We're excited to welcome Arlette Thomas-Fletcher to our program today. She's someone who's been able to not only to decide what she wants to do, but take the steps to make it happen. She's known for a lot of things she's been able to do as a writer, a screenwriter, a playwright and actor, singer-songwriter, and, of course, as an author. She wrote the book, The LONESOME TRAIL. It is now also a film that's available here through our friends at Prime Video. We're going to ask her about that process, what it's been like for her to see her story brought to life, and let you guys know how to stay connected with her and all the great things that's going on. Arlette, hello to you, and welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you for having me on.
Hey, the pleasure is definitely all mine. So, Arlette, I want to begin where we are now in 2022. I mean, you've been able to do so many things. You have so many slashes behind your name. What has it been like for you to have had a vision for yourself and to see that vision being realized?
It has been truly a tremendous blessing. It's like, planting seeds and working hard for a long period of time and just being able to see it manifest. It's just a very exciting time for me.
Yeah, I love the planting seeds analogy there, Arlette, because I think so many people, and I know you meet them as well, who want it now, right? They want to do what you're doing right now, even though they have not put in the work that you put in over the 2 decades to get here. Did you always know it was going to be a process, though, Arlette? Did you always know this was a marathon and not a sprint?
I would say my mother always taught me that hard work was important. She was a hard worker, and, she always said if you work hard, you'll see the fruits of your labor. So I always was a hard worker, and I kind of started out as a young child writing. So I was 5 years old when I actually started writing. So I've always been a writer, and that has taken me so many places. I guess just having the imagination, God blessing me with the ability to just, see things visually as I write.
And now here you are, not only being able to see things visually, Arlette, but now for the world to see it visually, like I mentioned with the book, The Lonesome Trail, now being a film. Are you still having those pinch-me moments where you kind of think about this all began with an idea, and now here it is for the world to be able to see?
Oh, yeah. I mean, to think that I was watching Tombstone when the idea came to me. I mean, I love the Western so much, and I was like, I would love to do a Christian Western, and I started writing it kind of as a story for a book, and then kind of expanded that and started writing a treatment. Then I said, you know what, I'm going to write a screenplay, and then gone from the screenplay to production. It was a journey, and working with such awesome actors and just watching them bring characters to life and just having that feel of being on a Western set, and it was just really magical.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you, as I mentioned, some of the ways people have gotten to know you, Arlette, through your gifts. Did you always know you had something to share? Was that something that was also instilled in you early, that you had something that the world needed?
Well, my mom named me after a famous French actress, so I think she had a plan in mind. And it's funny because when I was a little girl, she would always say, "There's my little actress." So I think. I used to think she meant it like I was just putting on, but I think she just saw something greater. And I was always creative, and I just love to create things. Doing different things just is so therapeutic for me. And I love to, just inspire people with my work.
So you mentioned your mother. What about believing in yourself? What was that process like?
Just believing in myself. I guess I came to that when I started writing poems, and I kind of, I did my first poetry book, and I used to do spoken word poetry, and just the reception that I got from people, and for my plays, I got to do one of my plays that sold out. It's called Daddy, Where Are You? It sold out in D.C. twice, and doing a musical stage play, and just seeing the audience response made me feel, truly inspired, that the message was reaching them and that they enjoyed it. So, yeah, that gave me a feeling of self-worth.
And now, again, here we are with the Lonesome Trail being available both as a book as well as a film. We're going to remind our audience of that. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, though, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. I have a special guest that's joining us today. We have Arlette Thomas-Fletcher joining us. She's someone who's known by many titles she's been able to have, but she definitely is a visionary that's been able to have great ideas, see a vision, and then to be able to see it being brought to life both on the page as well as on the stage, and now also, of course, in film. So I want to talk about the writing process for you because, as you mentioned, and I heard you say, and I saw it even on Prime Video, Arlette, that the Lonesome Trail is categorized as a Christian Western. Talk to us about that because that's not a genre we hear a lot of. So how did you kind of come to what type of story this is going to be?
Well, I'm a Christian, and I am very strong in my faith, and I sincerely wanted to glorify God with my work, and that's what I do when I write. So doing a Western film, I wanted it to be a family film. I wanted it to, touch, young people as well as older people. And, we have a lot of Westerns out there, but everybody can't always watch Westerns because, a lot of parents are like, I don't want to see people shooting people and I want to see people fighting people. And, then a lot of times they have profanity and, sexual scenes that they don't want their kids exposed to. So, I just wanted to do something that the whole family could sit down and watch and get a meaning from a child to an adult and carry something away. When you go and you watch a film, you block out a time, like those 2 hours, you're going on that journey. You're in that story, and, it feels good when it's a good story. So that's what I wanted to be able to do.
And you were able to do that. So I guess an obvious question would be, because you've been in this industry a long time, Arlette, and you know better than most that, people, they want to produce what sells. You have companies who want to produce things that they believe will draw an audience, make money, and they don't really care so much about messages. They don't really care so much about, someone taking something away from something. How did you get so secure with what your vision was for the project? How did you get there that you were willing to stick to your guns and to make a film that you could be happy with and proud of?
I think because all of my work is an extension of myself. So I've got to feel comfortable with what I write. I've got to feel comfortable with what I produce. Sometimes, they say that when you make a film, just light a couple of hundreds and set them on fire because you just burning money. You're just burning money. But for me, this was a labor of love, and it was worth every penny that I put into it. It was worth every moment that I spent. I got to meet some great people. And they can be proud of the work that we did. So it's more to me than just a film. And I know that if it never makes a dime, I mean, I've accomplished, being a blessing and making a difference in someone's life by them watching the story. And that is priceless.
Yeah, such a great thing. Forgiveness is a part of the storyline, Arlette. Did you know going in that was going to be so prominent in it, or was it something that evolved as the story evolved?
Forgiveness is something I've prayed about my whole life. And, you know, people challenge you in this world. And I think God gave that to me. Sometimes forgiveness comes with a price, because the reality is it does. Oftentimes we forgive people and they don't change.
Right.
But we change. We move on, because we have to free ourselves from what they did or said or whatever, because we're better than that. And in this story, that's what the preacher teaches, that they're better than that. It's kind of one of my mentors who has passed on, that I've always looked up to, is Martin Luther King and his nonviolence that he presented to the world, in trying to work things out that way. So it really, you know, had an impact on me. And one of the things that the preacher does in this story is he is able to fight with a Bible and not, you know, and not a gun. And in our world, so many people fight with guns and weapons, and you know, but there are so many different ways to resolve matters. And you know, I just wanted to be able to bring that through. And yeah, there are different things that will happen, but you know, you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror when you think about the things that you do in your life. And I think that's one of the things that the preacher brings across in this story, you know, because his son questions him about his choices. He says, well, right. You know, some of the choices he made, his son doesn't agree with him, you know, and he has to teach him why he made the choices. So I think it's a teaching moment for kids as well, because, you know, in our society right now, we're going through so much bullying, you know, and there are just so many ways to deal with situations. And, you know, McCrae, who is in the story, is a tyrant. He is a bully. So, you know, we just have to not let the bullies of the world win.
And I think, too, Arlette, for so many people, as they think about that, you know, the idea of these themes, that you can be entertained but also inspired, is that kind of part of your hope as well?
Truly. I'm hoping that as you watch the film, or anyone who watches it, takes something away for themselves, and understand that, you know, don't let people steal your power. You know, so right. Often, you know, we think that when you fuss back or yell back or whatever you do in an argument, that you gotta show that you have this, you know, authority, and then sometimes it escalates. But sometimes you got to be able to, you know, just walk away from people, because, you know, sometimes when people get into these altercations, they don't walk away. So we just have to come to, as a society, a better way of resolving situations. You know, here we have this cattle baron who is upset because people are moving near his land, upset because they're, you know, taking away some of the grass. But there's more than enough grass for everybody. And just being able to learn how to get along together in the world is another part of the message of the film. So that is just so important.
You had mentioned the cast. I want to ask you a question about that, Arlette, for you. I mean, what was it like for you to see the trust that they had in you to help bring the story to life?
It was truly amazing, because just for them to trust me and to take the journey with me. You know, my the gentleman, Donald M., who plays Mike McCrae, he was very nervous about the role. He said, people are going to think I'm a racist. I said, well, Mike McCrae is a racist. He said, but people are going to think I am. I said, no, they're not. I said, they're going to think Mike McCrae is. And I said, they're going to see you portray that character. I said, this is not about you personally. This is about the character. And he got past it. It was really hard for him at first, because he's a sweetheart. and he was like, "Oh my goodness," and I really pushed him to this horrible person, in performing this character, and everyone is so different than their characters, and Lamont Easter totally different than Bill Barnaby. So,
right.
I mean, it was just great to work with them and to gain their trust, to be able to bring these characters forth.
Right. And now here we have it again. The Lonesome Trail is the title of the book, and the film, as I mentioned, it is available through Prime Video or through your favorite streaming service. So definitely make sure you guys take advantage of seeing that. Our guest for this segment is really someone who is a great example for, being able to not only to believe, but also what it takes to achieve. We're excited to welcome Arlette Thomas-Fletcher to our program today. She's been talking with us about her amazing journey in the arts and what it's been like for her to do what she loves. Arlette, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you?
They can go to ArletteThomas-Fletcher.com, and they'll be able to see a lot of my work there. I also have books there that I had a children's book come out recently called Dreamer's Journey on Amazon. And some other books will be coming out. They'll be able to see that. And upcoming projects that I'm working on have an animated series called The Cat-Faced Cat, and we're going to be doing it as a feature film as well, and it's an inspirational film, obviously, since I do family films. So I'm very excited about that, and I think my music is on there as well, some of my music. So they definitely will be able to see the different things that I do by going there. Also, the LoneSomeTrail.com, they can go to see more about the Lonesome Trail. And Fruits of the Spirit Productions is my company, where they can also see other things that I work on as well.
All right. So make sure you guys are staying connected with Arlette online. Arlette, again, congratulations to you. Thank you so much again for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.